It is a steamy Saturday night in downtown Cincinnati and another sellout crowd on hand at Great American Ballpark. Game 2 of this 3-game series, the top 2 teams in the National League Central. The Reds 4.5 games up on the Pittsburgh Pirates. And hi again, everybody, alongside Chris Welsh. I'm Tom Brenneman. Welcome, as always, to Reds baseball. Great way to get this series started here last night with a 3-0 win. We thought Brandon Phillips was going to be back in the lineup, but just moments ago we learned that he was a late scratch. They're expecting him in the lineup tomorrow. But having said that, this Reds offense, since Joey Votto went down, everybody's talking about the record, but look at some of the numbers offensively for this club. Chris, they're amazing.
Well, you're kind of waiting for this offense to wake up anyway. From a team perspective, that is. Joey Votto really carried this ball club for the first couple of months of the season. But since July the 15th, when he's been out, they've hit 25 home runs. That's first in the National League. Their slugging percentage is second. They're averaging, a 275 batting average, which is good for top 5 anyway. So this ball club all of a sudden is hitting on all cylinders. They're getting great pitching, and they're getting good hitting as well.
Well, a tall order tonight because James McDonald, for whatever reason, he's having an outstanding year. But even in a down year, he has dominated the Reds.
Well, what he's been able to do really against the Reds is spot his breaking ball. He throws both the curveball and the slider, and his slider, that is kind of a new pitch for him the last couple of years, has really become a big-time strikeout pitch. Now, on the other side for McDonald, he's not pitched very well lately at all. In fact, he struggled so mightily his last time out against the Houston Astros that he walked 7 batters in that ball game. So you hope you get the bad McDonald. You might get the good one. I know that they've got a lot riding on the line, this Pittsburgh team, and there'll be some high emotions riding in this game tonight.
Mike Leake coming off the worst start of his major league career, trying to right the ship. He had been on a real good run for the better part of 2 months, and so Leake trying to find that good touch tonight.
Sometimes having a real short outing can help a player. Help a pitcher like that. Number one, it gets you to thinking all week long about what you need to do differently than you did the last time out. And then what it also does is gives you some rest, because had he gone out there and thrown another game where he throws 110, 115 pitches, this time of year you get tired. So he ought to be very fresh out there, and he ought to be very mentally focused after the way he pitched last time. I think he feels like he owes the team something.
Well, Marty Brenneman owed Chris Spire something last night, keeping a promise. What a magical night it was. And Jim Day will have more when we return. Cincinnati. Talking about the chance of a little rain later. Let's hope not. Our weather report brought to you by Thompson Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drain Cleaning. Here's Scott Demick.
Hello, everyone. I'm meteorologist Scott Demick. If you're heading out to Great American Ballpark tonight for the big game, know that there will be a chance for rain. I've got my Reds tie on. We'll continue to soar above 500. 89 at first pitch with scattered showers and storms. 87 by the 7th inning stretch. Then 85 by the final out. Go Reds and enjoy the game.
And Jim Day with you just beside the Reds dugout. And congratulations to the Reds community, the corporate sponsors, and the Reds Community Fund, because last night a tremendous success. It was the Marty Party after the game. The Reds Community Fund, $50,000 raised for the Reds Community Fund because Marty Brenneman, a man of his word, the Reds won 10 straight games. He had his head shaved on the field, on Reds Live postgame, after the game. Was able to talk to him today, and he said he was very touched by the whole affair.
It was one of the most memorable nights I've ever spent in the ballpark. I mean, it was fun. It was sad. It was every emotion that I think anybody who feels emotions could experience. And I'd live it over again. I thought it was sensational.
Will he grow the poofy hair back, or will he keep it short? Stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for the Reds and Pirates. Reds trying to stretch their lead in the Central. We're back after this.
Fox Sports Ohio brought to you by the 2012 Ford F-150 Motor Trend Truck of the Year by Cincinnati USA. Let us be your travel guide to Cincinnati. Visit CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili Game Time. Skyline Time. Stop by your favorite Skyline Chili tonight. Jam-packed crowd into Great American Ballpark for the second straight night. Reds and the Pirates collide in Game 2 of this series. Alex Presley digging in. First pitch from Mike Leake. Strike one. We're underway. 88 degrees. Very high humidity. There is a breeze, however, and the ball is carrying out towards left center field as Leake gets ahead and no balls and 2 strikes. Chris, you brought up last night early in the game. The ball was not carrying particularly well. I'm not sure that's going to be the tale tonight.
Well, the wind, according to the flags out there, seems to be blowing from right to left. That's unusual. I'm not so sure it's going to carry all that well or not. I do know that Mike Leake is off to a pretty good start.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Mr. Presley. The Pirate batting under manager Clint Hurdle. Neil Walker coming up. Andrew McCutcheon in center. Garrett Jones, Michael McHenry behind the plate. Pedro Alvarez at third, and a latter third of Travis Snyder. Cincinnati native, Princeton High School, Josh Harrison at shortstop. And James McDonald on the mound. Start number 21 from Mike Leake. 4 up, 7 down. ERA under 4.5. That increased dramatically his last time out. He had been on a real good run. In the prior 13 starts, after beginning the year with a 5-game losing streak, Leake's ERA was 3.02 during that 13-game run. Before that last outing when he got kicked around badly by San Diego. Hitting in 2/3, allowed 5 hits, 3 walks, and 5 earned runs. Walker having an excellent season. .290 batter, 11 home runs, 55 batted in, 3-0. A little bit of an edge to the game going into tonight. A lot of talk about Aroldis Chapman hitting the on-deck hitter Andrew McCutchen in the left shoulder with a 101-mile-per-hour fastball on the first pitch of the at-bat with 2 away and nobody on in the 9th inning. There were some that felt like that was an intentional hit batsman by Aroldis Chapman, and thinking we could see some revenge taken out tonight, as it's a 1-out walk issued to Neil Walker with McCutchen coming up.
Now here's the pitch we're talking about, and you be the judge at home. Was that an intentional pitch or not? I can tell you as a former pitcher, when you want to hit a batter, you don't throw it on the inner part of the plate. You throw the ball behind the batter, and the guy walks right into it, is what normally happens. So I don't think that it was intentional, but it might be used by somebody in that dugout or in that clubhouse of the Pirates to get that team fired up, to pass the rumor that it was intentional, so that they get back to playing at a little bit higher edge, which is something that they need to do if they're going to stay with this Reds ball club.
Well, you can see the emotional reaction following the final out of the game. McCutchen walking down from the end of the dugout towards the clubhouse, screaming and yelling. I'm sure doing it to make sure his teammates at least knew the way he felt about what happened. 1 ball and 1 strike on McCutchen, having just a sensational year. The major league's leading batter at .373, 22 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Leake did a lot of nibbling around in that last start against San Diego. Told you walk 3 batters, but he'd get ahead of hitters and then nibble. Next thing you know, he's giving up base hits. It was a very odd outing.
Well, it was an odd outing, but he also had a very small strike zone with which to work. That's not going to help him.
Neil Walker has 7 stolen bases all year long.
Yeah, I'm not so sure what the idea is of going over there over and over again, because the chances of you picking off Neil Walker are not very good, because he's probably not going. Even that one, if it was right on the money, I think Walker gets back. So for the number of times that a right-handed pitcher picks off a guy, he probably throws it down the right field line 3 or 4.
So they have a runner in scoring position after a walk and a throwing error. And a fastball is in on McCutchen, 2-1.
You got to get back on that McCutchen idea, the whole trend of whether he got hit right or hit intentionally or not. I think, you can spin it however you want it if you're the Pirates. And I think what they're trying to do is to spin it to get their team jacked up a little bit, because they've got to come in here and play with some intensity. They know that. They know that this ball club is on a roll, the Reds, that they pitch very well, that they play great baseball at home, and that if they're going to compete with them right here in Cincinnati, like they have done, in fact, they've won 6 of the last 8 games that they've played here in Cincinnati, they've got to play at the very highest emotional level possible. And that may be a little bit of the idea of trying to pass the word that it was intentional.
2-2 the count on McCutchen. And a swing and a miss. Boy, the Reds have owned him so far this year. I mean, you knock on wood when you say it, because he's wearing out everybody else. The Reds on defense, presented by your Ford dealers. Jay Bruce back in the lineup. He's out in right field. Roland Cozart. And we told you Phillips was in the original lineup. And then moments before the team took the field, he was taken down for one more day. And Wilson Valdez replaces him at second base. And Deoner Navarro making his Reds debut here tonight behind a plate. So 2 are out in the inning, and now the first baseman, Garrett Jones. 16 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Jones hitless in 4 at-bats here last night, ending a 9-game hitting streak. In the air, down to left field line. And with room, it's Ludwig, inning over. Hit batter, an error, 1 left. Reds coming up against James McDonald when we return. "24 games over 500 coming into play tonight. That's a season best, as is the 4.5-game lead in the Central. And Dusty Baker's starting lineup: Cozart, Stubbs, Jay Bruce in a 3-hole. Ryan Ludwig batting cleanup. Scott Rowland and Todd Frazier. Navarro, Valdez, Leake, the latter third, against a guy who's really had the Reds number the last couple of seasons. Talented right-hander James McDonald.
Well, he's 27 years old, and he's really only in his 3rd full major league season when you count up all the service time he's had over the process of about 4 or 5 years. But he's had the Reds number. He beat them twice in the month of May. One of those outings was 6 innings of 1-run baseball. The other was 8 innings of shutout baseball.
For whatever reason, he has just not been the same guy since the All-Star break. He has walked 19 batters in his last 4 starts, including a season-high 7. His last outing in Houston on the 29th of July. That ERA in July was nearly 6. Line drive, base hit for Cozart, who had a big night last night. For the rookie in the opening game of this series, he had 3 hits and 4 at-bats. Pirates defensively, a lot of changes from last night's game presented by your Ford dealers. Presley the nod in left. Harrison starts at short. Jones moves in to play first base. And McHenry gets a start behind the plate. Drew Stubbs 1 out of 4 in a series opener last night. Breaking ball for strike 1. Early arriving crowd for this one. They had the Johnny Cueto bobblehead giveaway. when you have a hard time finding any empty seats outside of a spot here or a spot there in the ballpark, it is officially a sellout crowd. Johnny, you think the Reds are going to win the World Series? Yes, yes. Do it, bobble it, go straight up and down. Hit that thing again. They're handing Alvarez and throws it away into the stand. They will hold Cozart at third. That'll be a bunt hit for Stubbs, and then a throwing error on Pedro Alvarez, and the Reds in business.
Well, Zach Cozart laid down a bunt right after the home run last night by Matt Latos. Caught the defense by surprise. This one catches them by surprise, too. Perfect bunt. A little bit hard. Alvarez has a chance. If he comes up and throws it on the money, he might have Stubbs at first base. But when you have speed like Stubbs, it forces you into errors. You make decisions you wouldn't normally make. You rush your throw, and you throw it into the stands, and the Reds have a great opportunity right here to jump on top.
Second and third, nobody out. Jay Bruce looks at ball one high. Jay at 249 has 21 home runs, 66 runs batted in. Did not start last night. Of course, Chris Heisey started in his place and had an inside the park home run. Jay was slotted in the number 4 spot in the original batting order, with Brandon Phillips hitting third. And now everybody moved up, and Valdez plugged into the 8-hole. Good numbers for Jay against this Pirate right-hander. One ball and 2 strikes. Good pick down there by Billy Hatcher. But when you get second and third and nobody out, I mean, you are thinking slam dunk pair in the inning. 2 ground balls to the right side. Of course, there are a lot of other things you could do, but 2 ground balls and you're in business, 2-0.
And if you're James McDonald, you're thinking damage control. I'll give him 1, but I don't want to give him 2. What he really is trying to do is get a strikeout right here of Jay Bruce, and he's only struck him out 1 time in 16 at bats. And McDonald is somewhat of a strikeout pitcher. They set him up for it nicely with a lot of off-speed stuff, a couple of pitches inside. But when you really need to make contact in this at-bat, McDonald rears back and throws a fastball up there at 94.
Well, when guys in front of him have failed, and there have not been many of them, but when guys have failed in front of Ryan Ludwig, he has been a teammate all the way, picking guys up. See if he can do it here. Second and third, nobody out. Now second and third, 1 out. Clobbered, foul.
I'm stunned that he was going to get a good pitch to hit in this at bat. You've got a base open. You've got Scott rolling in the on-deck circle. You set up a possible ground ball double play to get you out of the inning. I'm not sure where I see the upside of actually going right after Ryan Ludwig right here. First inning has been the big problem for James McDonald. 7 home runs allowed in the first inning. That's most in the National League.
Cozart the runner at third. Drew Stubbs out at second. 0-1 on Ryan Ludwig, who's been the hottest Red of them all. Although he was really cooled off last night. They hit him in that 3 spot. And Ludwig went 0 for 4. Only once hit the ball out of the infield. And now McDonald ahead at 0-2. Ludwig did not like the call. The home plate umpire and crew chief Brian Gorman. Todd Tishner down at first. Tony Randazzo at second. And Bob Davidson, the umpire, at third. Was a big at bat right here for the Reds. Ludwig 22 runs batted in since the All-Star break. Only Albert Pujols and all the baseball is knocked in more. Breaking ball that he doesn't chase. 2-2. Ozark led off the inning with a single to center, went to third on a bunt hit by Stubbs. A throwing error moved both runners up a base. McDonald struck out Jay Bruce, and now he's 2-2 on Ludwig. Down the left field line again, and again hooking foul. Not nearly the distance on that one.
That just has him out a little bit ahead on that breaking ball. As I mentioned early on, James McDonald will throw two different kinds of breaking ball. He's got a curveball. That's the one that you see in the 70s. He'll throw a slider in the 80s. That slider that he has come up with really just the last couple of years. That's the pitches he goes to when he really needs a strikeout.
Two and two to count on Ludwig. And again fouled back out of play.
Well, if you're watching the sequence of McDonald, he's gone soft and hard and soft and hard. So he's not thrown two fastballs in a row, nor has he thrown more than one breaking ball in a row, at least not over the plate. So if that sequence continues, this ought to be a breaking ball.
This is the seventh pitch in this at bat. 3-2.
Boy, he wanted it. Not so sure McHenry thought it was a strike. Brian Gorman this year is one of the most strike colonist umpires out there. His number is over 65%, which puts him at the high end of a pitcher's umpire.
Ludwig in the box and out of the box before this 3-2 pitch, trying to put the Reds in front in the home half of the first inning. Bruce strikes out. Ludwig strikes out.
Now that was the slider we talked about, and he had the breaking ball, slow breaking ball early in the account, and then he decided to go with this one. To a hitter, it looks like a fastball coming out of your hand. And he throws hard enough to keep you honest. James McDonald does, 93, 94, and Ludwig just committed too soon. So now I guess the feeling is, if you're the Reds, you're hoping to get one run. If you're James McDonald, now you're thinking about, hey, forget that damage control idea. I'm throwing a 0 on the board.
Rolling at 230, 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And a base hit into right field by Rowland. 1 run scores. Here comes Stubbs. How about Scotty Rowland?
Said it earlier, Tom, and we've seen it time and time again. If one guy doesn't do it, the next guy will pick him up. Good little swing on an inside fastball right there. Trying to make contact, take it the other way. Good, safe swing by Rowland, and it results in 2 big runs in the first inning. Boy, how demoralizing would it have been had the Reds gotten into that position and not been able to score any at all?
Well, what a clutch knock that is by Rowland. Ball player. So now Frazier, as the inning continues, 272 hitter, 13 home runs, 40 runs batted in. Chase that slider down and away from him, and the count even at a ball and a strike to Todd Frazier.
You know, Todd will laugh at himself because we kid all the time with him, and not just me, but his teammates too. How can you look so bad? How can you swing at a pitch that no one could hit even with a boat oar, and then come back the next pitch and hit one about 9 miles? He's got a short memory for that.
Thought about it, laid off, misses low and in. 2-1 to Frazier. Rolling with a 2-out, 2-run single to right, and the Reds out in front here in the last of the first inning. Hook to the third baseman. He'll go the short way, and the Reds cash in with a 2-out single from Rowland. Storyline brought to you by Elk & Elk. Serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. So much has been made about this, and the strength of schedule or lack thereof. And you see the top, 6 teams, and all of those teams are very, very much in playoff contention. Not just a little bit. Well, you got 2 of the top 4 teams record-wise in all of baseball squaring off here in Cincinnati this weekend. The Reds, of course, have the best record in all of Major League Baseball at 24 games over the 500 mark, a .613 winning percentage. In fact, there's no other club in all of Major League Baseball playing even .600 winning percentage baseball. And these are 2 of just 4 teams in the entire National League to win 60 or more games. The other 2 in the National League East, the Nationals and the Atlanta Braves. You take a look right now. You have the division leaders, of course, in the Reds, Washington, Texas, New York, and then the next 2 records belong to teams that right now would qualify as wild card contenders in the National League, and the Pirates and the Braves.
What the Reds have done really since July the 6th is just unprecedented. Because in Cincinnati, what they've done now is they've won 21 out of 24 games. They're 21-3. And the Reds have only done that in that number of games 4 times in their history. Twice going back to the 1800s. Once in 1940 when they went on to win the World Series. And once in 1975, the first year of the 2-year Big Red Machine. Dusty Baker, 19 years as a manager, has never had a ball club to win 21 games in that short a number of games.
High fly ball by McHenry, and drifting back to the wall. Ludwig, he'll watch it go. We talked about the wind blow. That was hit into the air, and that wind is pushing out toward the left field line at an angle. That's a solo shot for McHenry. That's his 11th.
Now, we talked about him last night, the frequency in which he hits home runs. He's a guy that has got very short arms. He's very strong. He's very tough to get inside on. And he got down the count 0-2, and Mike Leake kind of hung that little slider out over the plate, and he just launches it straight up. But you're right about that wind tonight, blowing very hard out to left field.
Now, I'll tell you where you might see the wind become a factor. If batting practice is any indication of how the ball is traveling as Alvarez rolls out to Wilson Valdez, if you see a ball tonight hit in the air towards center field, the ball will be blown towards the left center field gap. I don't think I've ever seen, at least in the 6 years now that I've been fortunate enough to be back here in Cincinnati, Chris, where the ball was being pushed like it was being pushed that way in BP today.
You know, it's not only just windy, but it's a heavy wind. I mean, you can feel the air today. It's that Cincinnati sticky that you get in the month of August. But when you combine that with the wind the way it is, you're absolutely right. It does blow right on out of here, and it will alter the course of a high fly.
That's why you just keep getting those ground balls tonight.
Never seen a ground ball leave the yard. No.
Snyder retired, 2 away. So a 2-1 ball game. Pirates scoring their first run in this series. They were shut out on 4 base hits here last night by the trio of Latos, Broxton, and Chapman. If there is one Reds pitcher that has certainly been affected by homer-friendly Great American Ballpark, look no further than Exhibit A standing on top of the mound right now. In 11 starts at home this season, Mike Leake's ERA is over 6. That is the highest earned run average at home among all National League pitchers that have made at least 10 starts in their own ballpark. The only 2 higher than Leake's 6.04 ERA. Stunningly, Boston's John Lester at Fenway Park, an earned run average just shy of 7. And Jake Arrieta at Camden Yards. Josh Harrison glares out at Leake. Give me a break. I don't know if Josh Harrison was staring out there because he was thinking that might have some intent to it. Harrison, of course, a local kid.
Well, there's no doubt that there's an edge between these two teams. You know, normally in batting practice, Tom, and you were down there to watch it, I saw it as well, that you're going to see that he just warned both benches. I'm talking about the home plate umpire.
I think he did.
Brian Gorman.
I'm stunned. Are you?
I'm stunned, too. And if I'm Clint Hurdle, I would be more than stunned. I'd be furious. Because now, if a pitcher were to hit a batter and in the observation of the umpire, judgment of the umpire, it is intentional, the pitcher gets ejected from the game and the manager gets ejected from the game, and Clint Hurdle saying, come on, we didn't even have a chance to pitch inside yet tonight, and you're already warning the benches. You're taking our chance away to try to even the ledger.
And Clint Hurdle's thrown out of the game. You can read the lips of the home plate umpire. He said, I wanted to stop now. Boy, and Clint Hurdle is livid.
Well, Brian Gorman's been around a long time, and he doesn't eject very many players. He ejected earlier this year Lance Berkman. But before that, I think you go back several years before he had another ejection. But he did not wait long at all to give Clint Hurdle the thumb.
I tell you, I think a lot of it has to do with, Chris, and you might totally disagree, and it doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong, or you're right and I'm wrong. I think a lot of this had to do with the initial reaction of Josh Harrison after getting hit with a pitch.
Well, you know, these umpires are clued into what's going on. They saw what happened last night, and I'm not so sure it was a reaction or not. It could have been, because the last thing the umpires want on their record is a melee. They do not want the benches empty, because Major League Baseball comes down to them and says, you know what, you guys lost control of the ball game. Why didn't you stop it before it started? And that's what Brian Gorman's doing right here. He's the crew chief. He wants to make sure, in fact, that's exactly what he said to Clint Hurdle. I want to stop now. And so the Reds kind of get a freebie there, and we move on.
So here is James McDonald.
He's a pretty good hitter.
6 of 39 with a run batted in. Reds with a 2-1 lead. They got 2 in the bottom of the first inning, and McHenry homered to begin this second inning. Of course, this Pirate-Reds series and this intra-division rivalry is out when it's hit down the left field line and out of play. Does not have anywhere close to anything resembling bad blood. I mean, let's face it, the Pirates haven't had a winning season in the last 19 years, and to be completely honest about it, outside of 2010, the Reds haven't been anything to write home about either.
For both of these ball clubs, the last couple of months of the season have been salary drives individually rather than a collective drive to the pennant.
There's strike 3 called, that'll end the inning. A home run by McHenry, but fireworks early. Clint Hurdle giving the heave-ho. 2-1 Reds. Brought to you by Miller Lite. James McDonald back on the mound, the subject of our Farmers Insurance report card. How dominant was this guy up until the last 4 outings, Chris? Only once did he allow 4 earned runs or more in a game, and now 4 in a row.
So it really begs the question, which James McDonald is the real James McDonald? The one that we've seen in the first half of the year, or the one that is becoming, you know, more and more frequent here since the All-Star break? You know, if you look at some of the peripheral numbers on James McDonald, you're saying to yourself, how will he be able to keep up the pace that he had in the first half? The little things that, you know, the stat guys look at, like batting average, ball in play. The average is somewhere around 290, 295. His is down to 250s. And he doesn't have a whole lot of pop-ups. So eventually those line drives that they're hit off of him are going to start falling in. You combine that with some bad control, which is what he has shown since the break, and you're getting a guy that is going to be more like his numbers before this year rather than what he's posted here in the first half of 2012.
Piano Navarro in his Reds debut here tonight strikes out in his first at bat.
You know what he doesn't throw? Navarro's a switch hitter too, so you got two lefties in the lineup now for the Reds with Bruce and Navarro. What he's done against left-handers now, McDonald that is really put away his changeup. He's thrown way more curveballs than he ever does changeups. He doesn't throw many changeups at all. So his pitch of choice to left-handers is probably going to be fastball to get a strikeout, just like he did Jay Bruce and Navarro.
Wilson Valdez at 240 without a home run, 10 runs batted in. Pushes a bunt to the right side, foot race to the bag, and it is out. The call at first. No argument by Valdez or Billy Hatcher. Boy, McDonald, those long legs, he covers ground in a hurry. That is a nice play. So 2 out, nobody on, and now the pitcher Mike Leake, 11 of 38 with a couple of home runs. Tapper to Harrison. He gobbles it up, throws on the first, inning over. 1, 2, 3, 4. McDonald. We move to the third. The Reds lead 2-1. At Great American Ballpark, the place to catch all the Reds action. Ticket prices start as low as $8, and for additional savings, plan a group outing of 25 or more in the Kroger bleachers. For tickets to any Reds game, 381-REDS. Visit select Kroger locations or log on to Reds.com tonight. There are tickets available for the series finale tomorrow. That'll be a 1:10 start. Then the Reds are gone. Milwaukee for 3, Chicago for 4. And they will return home a week from Monday. The Mets come in for 3 games, and the Cubbies for a 4-game series. Alex Presley struck out on 3 pitches his first time up. Down strike one on the foul ball to first here. Reds got both their runs in the first inning. Singles by Cozart and Stubbs, helped by throwing error from Pedro Alvarez. And then Scott Rowland, a 2-out 2-run single. Michael McHenry homered for the Pirates, leading off the second, and this game is tied up as it's launched into deep right field. Oh, it stays in the ballpark, and Wynn must have knocked it down, and somehow, some way, Bruce didn't catch it. I don't think that ball went up against the wall, did it?
Well, it had to bang off something to be able to ricochet off that far. I'm not sure if it was his glove or whether it was off the top of the wall right there. I thought it was gone too when it came up, because normally in right field the ball goes out of here very shallow. It just didn't quite get up there, went off to the side.
Yeah.
Would have been a great catch had he been able to get it. Nick Leyva is the acting manager. He's going to go out and talk to, oh no, he's not the acting manager, he's the third base coach.
I think they're going to maybe.
I think they're going to look for maybe fan interference.
Yep, they're going to go to the replay booth. Boy, it looked like when that ball left the bat, as many games as we see in this ballpark. But again, I almost wonder if the wind sort of pushed it just a little bit deeper into right center. There's no fan interference here.
No.
It's not even debatable. If it hits the yellow part, it would have to bounce then over the wall and go into the stands to be a home run.
Well, I think they're going to go in and look at it because, number one, they're asked. Number one, there's a certain amount of uncertainty because Bruce had his glove up there, and it looked for a moment like he may have been able to have that ball, but they didn't get a good shot at it. So I think he's used to seeing that ball leave the yard.
I'm telling you, you look at those flags out there. If you notice, when Bruce went up, the ball missed to the center field side of his glove. And again, just going back to batting practice, and not to belabor the point, but I have never seen in the last 6 years in this ballpark the ball travel the funny ways that it did because of this wind earlier tonight. While they're taking a look at it downstairs, Mike Leake will make a few warm-up tosses. It's going to be a leadoff triple for Presley here in the third inning. While we wait, we'd like to remind you that Fox Sports Ohio would like to welcome the folks out on the riverboat deck celebrating Leslie Schuler's birthday tonight. They are our special guest on the Fan Express to Reds Country. For more information on how you and your group can get on the Fox Sports Ohio Fan Express to Reds Country, 765-7600, the number to dial, or visit reds.com/Fan Express. A minute 55 delay. To confirm what we thought, a 3-base hit for Alex Presley. Tying run at third, nobody out. We're in the third. Reds infield, with the exception of Rowland conceding the run, and this will bring it in on a line drive. Bruce a catch, tagging and scoring is Presley. We're tied at 2. Nice play right there by Jay Bruce, getting it out.
We've seen him make those a lot. He's become very aggressive on that ball hit in front of him. That ball had a lot of humpback sink on it.
So we begin anew here in the third inning. Leake spotted to a 2-0 lead. That has vanished. 1 in, 1 out, none on. We're in the third inning, and McCutchen, who struck out his first time up, with a count of 1-1. High fly ball. Jay Bruce waits. 2 out. Jay, a busy man here in the top of the 3rd inning. All 3 balls hit his way. And now Garrett Jones, left-handed batting first baseman, who flied out to Ludwig, ending the first, looks at ball 1. Leake starting for the 3rd time this year against his Pirate team. On the 5th of May in Pittsburgh, 7 innings, 3 runs. He lost the game. 3-2 was the final. And then a no decision here a month and 2 days later, 7 innings and 4 runs. Reds lost that game in 10 innings, 5-4. Back up through the middle and into center field. A 2-out hit for Garrett Jones. McHenry, who homered to left field leading off the 2nd inning. His 11th of the year, behind a strike. And 2 on McHenry, and a high fly ball into right. And Jay is there. He takes care of all 3 outs in the inning. But the Pirates tie the game at 3 after 2.5. Follow Fox Sports Ohio's coverage of the Reds with MLB.com at bat 12. Text it bat to 31826 or visit Reds.com for details. If a Red hits that Toyota sign during our game tonight, Alexandra Martinez, that's a pretty name, from Cincinnati, will win the new Tundra. Register for your chance to win. Just stop by your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Two-two game, last of the third. Reds have a top of the order. Cozart had a base hit, scored a run. First pitch swinging this time straight into the air behind the plate. And that's one pitch, one out for McDonald. This guy's been walking everybody and his brother. But tonight throwing a lot more strikes. Stubbs had the bunt single and went all the way to second on a throwing error by Pedro Alvarez in at first, and scored on the 2-out 2-run single by Rowland. There you see 23 strikes against just 10 out of the strike zone for McDonald. Oh, he's coming off a start where he walked 7 batters. That's a playable ball. And McHenry in a hurry couldn't find the handle. That'll be another infield hit for Stubbs. 2 of them tonight.
Boy, the beauty of being able to run like Drew Stubbs and just put the ball in play. He laid down a bunt his first time, forced the third baseman into an error. This time you're going to see how frantically that catcher comes out of the catcher's box trying to make the grab right there. He's watching Drew Stubbs run down the line while he's trying to grab the baseball.
Jay with 23 stolen bases. He's been thrown out. Stubbs 23 steals, been thrown out 6 times, and Jay Bruce now the batter. What about the running game? You talked about, how the Pirates have had a hard time throwing people out attempting to steal against them this year. What about McDonald?
He's a big, tall guy. He's 6'5", has a long, lanky delivery. They've stolen 6. They've had 3 throw-em-outs. So he's a guy that takes a while to kind of load up the throw home. But Stubbs, it really doesn't matter. I mean, unless you have a guy like Johnny Cueto out there, Stubbs ought to be able to, with his speed, if he reads the move right, gets a good enough lead, he got to be able to make it nearly every time, or at least make it awfully close.
Jay Bruce struck out his first time up. Reds winning the series opener here last night without Bruce, Phillips, or Votto in a lineup. Nice piece of hitting right there by Bruce. Just serves it the other way. Stubbs on to second. 2 aboard for Ryan Ludwig.
Well, I'm trying to think the last time I saw Jay Bruce hit a ball with some kind of authority to left field. I mean, it wasn't exactly a ball off the wall, but it was a good solid line drive, a good approach on a ball that you see that run action on that James McDonald fastball. When he throws that 2-seamer in there, that really will run away from a left-hander. That's the only way you're going to get it.
Ludwig, like Bruce, struck out with runners at second and third back in that first inning before Rowland took them both off the hook with a 2-run single. First pitch breaking ball and a good one from McDonald, a strike. Stubbs at second base, Jay Bruce over at first. One out in a 2-2 game. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Ludwig has been an extra base hitting machine. He has an extra base hit. 54% of his total hits so far this year. That is his second highest percentage among all players that have at least 50 hits in the major leagues. Behind only Adam Dunn. Jay Bruce would be fourth on that list. One and two to Ludwig. 2 on, 1 out. Fastball in.
Hey, you wonder if Ryan Ludwig might be thinking about that slider that he chases last time up. Reds at second and third. Bruce struck out on a fastball. McDonald threw a slider down the dirt that Ludwig chased.
Well, like the last at bat, Chris, you pointed it out. You know, he threw the fastball in before he went to that slider away. So there's a fastball right there to Ludwig. Is he going with that breaking ball now away on a 2-2 count? Yep. Ludwig was ready for it down the left field line, and that is off the wall. Stubbs will score. They're going to hold Bruce on an RBI double by Ludwig to put the Reds back in front.
Wow, that's the one thing that really has defined Ryan Ludwig this year. When he's gotten hot and carried this Reds ball club the way he has, he just doesn't miss hanging breaking balls, and that's what he gets right here. Let's take a look at the entire at-bat or Mazda pitch by pitch. And they're going to mix it up on him. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Now they're going to try to fastball, get him off the plate. Got another breaking ball, had a good swing at that one, so you come back in with a fastball again. But when you hang that breaking ball up above the waist, doesn't matter whether it's a surprise pitch or not, you're not going to get very many guys out, and Ludwig was all over it.
We just got finished saying an extra base machine. And another extra base hit for Ryan Ludwig, who now has tied Albert Pujols for the most runs batted in among all players in the major leagues since the All-Star break, each with 23. Ryan Ludwig out at second base, safe at second, safe and secure.
New York life.
Clay Searage, the pitching coach, under the ejected manager, Clint Hurdle, was thrown out of the game back in the second inning by home plate umpire Brian Gorman. Roland knocked in 2 runs with a single to right in the first inning. He had runners at second and third then. He has second and third now.
Or just the difference between that curveball that fooled Scott Rowland and the one that he hung to Ryan Ludwig. That will define a pitcher's night. If you throw enough like the one he just threw to Rowland, you're going to have a good night. If you throw too many of the hangers, you get an early shower.
Came back with another one to get ahead 0-2.
Good night to throw a curveball. Anytime it's this humid, this sticky, it's the kind of night where the air is heavy. It grabs the baseball. You put some good spin on that baby, and it will really roll right off the table.
Garrett Jones trying to cover up that hole that Rolen likes to find over on the right side. He's a good 20 feet off the bag. Rolen started. Third straight breaking ball. That one in the dirt.
Well, Rolen, if you remember, the first pitch that he saw, the one he lined into right field to drive the Reds' runs in the first inning, was a fastball. Kind of got it middle in. Just put the good part of the bat on it. And since then, McDonald has shied away from throwing him another heater.
Came back with one there.
Teaser pitch.
Well, we wondered a moment ago after a fastball up and into Ludwig. Was that setting up the breaking ball to Ludwig? He did throw a breaking ball. It hung, and Ludwig mashed it off the wall. Is this a breaking ball now coming to Rolen? No, gas up and in. Breaking ball, and he pops it up. This will not bring the run home. Short right field. Snyder quickly fires into the cutoff man, so they take care of Rolen this time. But these Reds up and down the batting order have picked one another up. Rolen did it for Bruce and Ludwig in the first. Can Frazier do it for Rolen here in the third? On Todd Frazier. And now 3 balls and no strikes. Deanna Navarro waits in the on deck circle. Todd Frazier. Jay Bruce, a runner at third base. Ludwig breaks a 2-2 tie with a double here in the third inning. Well, that one looked like it hung out over the middle of the plate right there for Frazier, and he fouled it away.
Yeah, I got to figure Todd was probably looking breaking ball, 3-1 count, first base open. Had just seen a fastball right down Broadway, and he did get a hanger. That was very similar to the one that Ryan Ludwig whacked off the left field wall.
Three-two pitch. Breaking ball. He loses a bat. Jay Bruce has to duck underneath it. Well, that had to be a little bit scary. That ball came flying just over the head of Jay Bruce, leading in foul ground.
Well, the ball went one way. The ball went actually over Deanna Navarro in the on-deck circle and into the stands. The bat goes exactly the opposite direction. look pass.
And it's in the hole. Diving play. Harrison to knock it down. Throws. Frazier beat it out. Infield hit, and another run scores to make it 4-2. Outstanding effort by Josh Harrison. He nearly made a terrific play.
Well, he did everything he possibly could. Harrison did, but he got the ball so deep. You see he's in the outfield grass, and the ball gets away from him. Comes up immediately throwing, but Todd Frazier beats it out by a step. Boy, the advantage of just putting the ball in play.
So now the inning continues for Deanna Navarro. Another clutch 2-out hit by a Cincinnati Red. Rolling in the first. Frazier here in the third. Navarro struck out his first time up. Navarro, a one-time All-Star in the American League with Tampa Bay. Broke in initially, getting a lot of playing time with the Dodgers after a couple of trades as a highly touted minor leaguer, originally in the Yankee system. Played in the World Series in 08 and was a .353 batter for the Rays that year. Hook foul. See McDonald, he has his problems. Once guys move into scoring position, especially for whatever reason with 2 men out. He's given up 3 runs with 2 outs so far here tonight. Navarro trying to make it more than that with a 2-out hit. 2-2 the count. Runners on the corners, 2 are out. The next pitch by McDonald will be his 30th here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And he retired the first battery in the inning with the first pitch of the inning.
Yeah, he had a 1-2-3 second, and now he's run his pitch count up right to 60.
High pop up. Should end the inning. Harrison's there, and that's that. But after losing the lead, the Reds grab it right back thanks to Levitt and Frazier. Less than 3 weeks away. Fox Sports Ohio every Thursday night. We've got the game of the week. Some of the great area teams. Coleraine, Ryle
Raiders, the Ryle Raiders.
Kings, and many, many others from Southwest Ohio and, of course, Northern Kentucky. The kickoff is every Thursday night at 7 o'clock beginning August the 23rd. Such great high school football here in the area.
Well, you're not kidding about that. On the other side of the river, not so bad. I think Ryle will be taking on Highlands, the Highlands Bluebirds.
That's generally not a very good outcome for Ryle.
For anybody who plays Highlands.
You're right. It's anybody they play. They have become the most dominant high school football program in the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now, they're not at the biggest level in Kentucky. Highlands is not. I think they're in the second biggest, if I'm not mistaken. But, I mean, it has been state championship after state championship. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Dale Mueller the coach over there at Highlands? I'll tell you what, that guy back when I was working at Channel 5 25 years ago, and he took over a downtrodden Withrow High School program. And you knew back then, he got him to the playoffs. They hadn't been there forever. You knew that guy was going to win just an extraordinary number of games no matter where he coached, and he's doing it at Highlands. There's strike 3 called to Pedro Alvarez to begin the Pirate 4th inning. Reds leading 4-2.
It's a dandy pitch right here. Navarro wants the ball up. It's actually a fastball up, but it gets the very top end of the outside part of the strike zone.
Travis Snyder, the batter. Tell you what, though, we're quickly finishing that up. Ryle has become so good in so many different sports. I wouldn't say they can't beat anybody.
Well, you got to be able.
Anymore.
You got to play the game.
Yeah, I mean they are a really budding sports program. Bouncer over the mound. And Kozart.
Boy, how much does the shortstop snug towards second base to be able to see him make, in back-to-back nights, several ground ball fielding plays on the first base side of second base? Look where Kozart is. I mean, the Reds have developed just very good scouting reports. Sean Pender's their advanced scout. He does a great job on the road. They analyze video like every other team does, but they're not afraid to put their position players where they think that ball is going to be hit. And he robs a base hit right there.
Well, now Josh Harrison hit by a pitch. He's very upset about it. Staring out at Leake and threw his hands in the air saying, "Oh, what are you talking about? Do you think I meant to hit you?" And then Harrison got over there first, was barking a little bit, standing on the bag, and home plate umpire Brian Gorman immediately issued warnings to both teams. Clint Hurdle didn't like that. Came out to talk about it. Wound up getting in a heated exchange with Brian Gorman, and Hurdle was thrown out.
That was a quick thump. I was a little stunned by that. Maybe Brian Gorman thought that he let Clint Hurdle have his word, and then he should have turned around and headed back to the dugout. Was not going to change his decision to revoke the warning to both benches. That argument was over in a hurry.
Last time the Pirates were in town earlier this year, they honored Josh Harrison. He played, I believe they honored a state championship team that he played on here, right at Princeton. Or a state runner-up, I think it was. It was a fly ball into left field, hit pretty well. Ludwig will watch it go, and there's that wind again.
Oh boy, we have not seen that type of wind. Really coming right out of the south now. I mean, it is blowing hard. That ball got up in that little jet stream, and that's a chip shot home run.
Well, we said it very early on that this was going to be perhaps a game-changing kind of wind in this ballpark here tonight. I don't know about the Henry's earlier. Well, there's little debate about this one. So back down to a one-run game. And now McDonald, who struck out his only time up, looks at strike one here. It's a third home run and somewhat limited playing time for Josh Harrison. And this should end the inning. Pirates get a run back. Middle of the fourth. Reds 4, Pirates 3. Special post-game faith concert featuring Grammy-winning band Mercy Me, presented by Prasco, and you can take advantage of that Meyer family deal. That's where one family member buys a full-price ticket and then gets the option to buy 3 additional tickets at half price. That'll be the Reds and the Cubs, August the 19th. Post-game faith concert featuring Mercy Me. Reds will see the Cubbies, 8 times in the next 2 weeks. Reds 4, Pirates 3. Reds come to bat here against James McDonald in the bottom of the 4th inning, 8-9-1 in the batting order. And Valdez, who tried to bunt his way on his first time up, is down strike one.
Well, you're right about McDonald having some good foot speed. He was very slow getting off the mound right here, but he still beat Valdez to the bag, no problem. He thought at first when that ball was hit to the first baseman that Garrett Jones would handle it himself. Watch the hesitation right here. Kind of hangs. Oops. Nobody else over there but me.
Ball a strike on Leake. He bounced out to the shortstop, his only time up tonight. Straight away center field. A lot of room out there for McCutchen. Tomorrow, join us for the pregame at the Reds live set for Sunglass Sundays. 100 of you will receive a free pair of sunglasses courtesy of Fox Sports Ohio and the Ohio Department of Public Safety, reminding you to drive sober or get pulled over. So now McDonald looking for a quick fourth inning after a 30-pitch third inning. Cozart 1 out of 2, has 4 hits in the first game and 2 at-bats of this series. And there's a 4-pitch walk.
Well, you know, you brought that stat up earlier, Tom, about how McDonald seemingly, when he gets deeper into an inning and you get a runner in scoring position and 2 outs, all of a sudden that batting average against skyrockets, because he's not an easy guy to hit overall. His overall batting average against is in the low 200s. But here in the first inning, the Reds got a 2-out base hit. In the third inning, they got a 2-out base hit. Here they get a 2-out walk. So maybe it's a matter of concentration on McDonald's and of just not being able to finish the inning. The killer instinct of saying, I need to get into the dugout here. And he eases up a little bit. Next thing you know, you got a little rally going. So Reds may be able to capitalize.
Bruce Tubbs has put the ball on the ground twice. The 2 balls combined have not traveled 70 feet. And he has 2 hits and has scored 2 runs. He had a bunt hit his first time up, and a swinging roller out in front of the plate for an infield hit, starting the 2-run rally in the third.
Now McDonald's is throwing a few of those breaking balls that are actually going the other way. Maybe a little fatigue coming into him here. That's when you get your hangers.
Thrown 6 in a row out of the strike zone. Told you it's hot. Well, we had that steamy week a couple of weeks ago, and then last week very, very nice, and most of this week had low humidity, warm temperatures, but not the mugginess we have tonight. Well, that's a borderline strike there, and Stubbs turning around and asking Brian Gorman about it. Wow.
Same pitch that time he went.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Drew Stubbs. Cozart running. And a strike 3 called to end the inning. 1 man left. We've played 4. The Reds lead the Pirates by a run. Ohio, brought to you by JTM Food Group, creating great dishes together with the food service industry for over 30 years. By your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Reds 4, Pirates 3, top of the order. So a very important inning here for Mike Leake. He has given up runs in each of the last 3 innings. Twice has been given 2-run leads. First go around, the Pirates wound up tying the game. Got a home run by McHenry in the second. Presley tripled. Scored on a flyby by Walker in the third. Reds got 2 in the bottom of that inning before the home run from Harrison with 2 outs in the fourth. And there's a base hit by Presley. Presley came in hitting .231. He has 2 hits and 3 at-bats tonight. Ball 1 to Neil Walker. You got to wonder how much rope Mike Leake is going to have here tonight. Reds only used Broxton and Chapman for a total of an inning and 2/3 after the sensational 7 1/3 frames from Matt Latos. Those 3 combining on a 4-hit shutout. Johnny Cueto pitched deep into the ball game here on Thursday afternoon in a win over San Diego. And then the night before that, Bronson Arroyo gave him 6. So even though the week started with a couple of poor outings from Leake and Bailey, the last 3 have been pretty good.
Well, that inside part of the strike zone to a left-hander is so important to Mike Leake, and that's a spot that he was unable to throw for strikes his last time out. That very short outing against the Padres where he went only 1 2/3 innings. Every time he went inside, he was off the plate. Had to come back over the middle of the dish, and the Padres really waylaid him. But he's been able to mark that spot much better tonight. Going to go back in there again. And that's a good pitch for him. That little slider that he drops on the back foot of a left-handed hitter looks so good to a left-hander who likes to drop that bat head, and then it just disappears on you.
To the count on Neil Walker. Presley a short lead over there.
And it's even shorter now than it was before the first throw over. Leake has thrown over now 3 times, and he's had a good effect on Presley shortening up that lead. Pirates really don't run very much. They don't defend against the run very well. Reds do a much, much better job.
Two and two the count on Neil Walker. And a pitch coming. Bouncing ball is a double play all the way here.
Boy, 3 double plays last night, 1 double play tonight. Every time you turn around, there's a Pirate on base. He's being erased with a ground ball double play. It's always a good thing with Andrew McCutchen coming up.
McCutchen 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out swinging and flied out to Jay Bruce in right field. Reds lead by a run. Strike 1 to McCutchen.
You know, obviously with McCutchen hitting over 370, he's getting his hits. But as far as production-wise, he's been absent really since about July the 17th. He's not hit a home run since July 17th. He's had 1 run batted in that amount of time. But even with that, the Pirates are still 10-5. So they're a lot like the Reds, where if McCutchen's not hitting, they have those other guys still picking them up a little bit.
See, the Reds by far have done the best job of slowing down this very talented Pirate center fielder this season. Well, he is just wearing everybody else out. He's gone on 3 pitches in this at bat, 0 for 3 tonight. With Reds Live, presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing on Fox Sports Ohio. Break it all down. You got Chris's checklist tonight. Special treat only on your exclusive home for Reds baseball. Nice to see the checklist back tonight.
Thank you for your support.
Reds 4, Pirates 3. Reds bat against James McDonald, last of the 5th inning here at Great American Ballpark. Bruce 1 of 2. Singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Three pitches and Bruce is gone. 5 strikeouts for McDonald. Take a peek at our AT&T trivia question for tonight. Name of 2 Reds pitchers to record both a win and a loss in the 1990 National League Championship Series against the Pirates. If I remember that series correctly, I was here. I mean, it's a long time ago, but I believe the Pirates stunned Jose Rijo in Game 1 of that series, and if I'm not mistaken, Tom Browning came back to win Game 2, an afternoon playoff game at Old Riverfront Stadium that year. Am I right on that?
I think you're right. I would say that Rijo would be one of those guys.
Now went 6, and back in those days, if I'm not mistaken, the Reds rotation for that playoff was Rijo, Browning, and I believe Danny Jackson. I don't think they used a 4-starter in that series. So they won it in 6.
Could we be talking about a reliever?
We might be talking about a reliever. Short fly ball on the right. 2 are out. Well, I wonder if it was Tom Browning. I know one thing for sure. Nobody got hung with a loss in the next round. Rolling. Boy, McDonald throwing nothing but strikes here in the bottom of the 5th.
Keeping the ball down very nicely against Roland, and Brian Gorman giving him that bottom part of the strike zone. Hope Mike Leake is watching that. Tell you what, for a guy that walked 7 batters in his last ball game, James McDonald, maybe he used up all the walks he wanted for the next few starts. Has not walked a batter tonight.
A 1-2-3 5th. Still a 1-run Cincinnati lead. Scott rolling a huge 2-out 2-run single to right in the 1st inning, putting the Reds in front. Michael McHenry, a solo home run to begin the 2nd inning, getting the Pirates on the board. After Pittsburgh tied the game RBI double by Ryan Ludwig. Run scoring infield hit by Todd Frazier. Made it 4-2. Princeton High alum Josh Harrison, a solo home run in the 4th. And here we are in the 6th. Garrett Jones, McHenry, and Alvarez against Mike Leake. And the Reds with a 1-run lead. Their lead is 4.5 over these Pirates in the National League Central Division. After winning the opener here last night, 3-0. Garrett Jones is flying to left and single to center. That took a bad hop and nearly hit Todd Frazier in the face. Here's a throw into second base, and that's going to be a sliding double for Garrett Jones. That just took a bad bounce. I mean, Frazier had him played perfectly. In fact, that's where he took a double away from Jones last night.
Boy, he hits this ball very hard. I don't know, not sure if it hit the bag or not. It looked like it was right on the line or very close to it. Nearly took Frazier's hat off, and a good hustling double by Jones because he never gives up right there. He just runs hard the whole way. Bruce tried to make something out of it. Now they've got that tying run in scoring position.
So here's McHenry, who hit the home run to left field. Back in the second inning, he flied out to Jay Bruce, ending the 3rd.
I imagine that the best place to pitch this kid is just down and away. The worst swing he has had on the night has been with a slider down and away. His body build does not look like he's easy to jam.
A strong young man.
Boy, short arms, strong guy, big strong upper body. Got it on that time.
McHenry, 27 years old, originally drafted in the 7th round by Colorado back in 2006. Went to Boston, then acquired by the Pirates from the Red Sox in June of last year for cash. Played in 58 games with Pittsburgh and really getting extended playing time here after being brought up this year. What city was named one of the top 3 places to visit in 2012? That's right, Cincinnati, OHIO. Book your weekend getaway at CincinnatiUSA.com. One and two on McHenry, tying run out at second base. Try to get him to chase a fastball up. Jones a double to start the Pirates' 6th inning. Two on McHenry. And now he wants time, something in his eye. Eighth pitch of this at bat. Got him swinging.
He proved to be pretty pesky, did McHenry, on this particular at bat, but they finally went down and away with an off-speed pitch. Deanna Navarro points out to Mike Leake, saying, yep, nice job right there. Perfect spot for that breaking ball. That's 5 of them now for Leake. Make it 6.
Here's Pedro Alvarez. He has bounced out to second base and looked at strike 3 in the 4th inning. Reds 4, Pirates 3. We're in the top of the 6th at Great American Ballpark. Hit off the end of the bat, foul, and that'll even a count of 1 ball and 1 strike.
Now that at bat by McHenry, you know, may prove to be a big one right here. The tying runs on second base. Man on second, nobody out. He was unable to get that runner over. We always pointed out, it seems like when a Reds hitter is up, you might want to point it out right here. He had a job to do and didn't get it done. Mike Leake came up big with a strikeout right here, so they're going to need a base hit to bring him in.
One ball and 1 strike on Alvarez. And a pitch. Beat him with a fastball. Fouled off to the third base side out of play. Next pitch will be number 90 in the game for the Reds right-handed. And hoping pitch number 90 will be the second out of the inning. Pitch in the dirt. That's a nice block there by Navarro. A tying run standing out there at second base. Navarro making his Reds debut here tonight. Devin Mesoraco a couple of days ago placed on the 7-day disabled list with a concussion. That's a new disabled list in Major League Baseball. Two-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Navarro can't find the ball, and Alvarez is going to reach. And on to third goes Garrett Jones.
Well, a good breaking ball right there. I'm not sure if it got the plate or right behind the plate, but the problem with a curveball, when it hits, it never bounces straight back. It always bounces off to the side, and when it does sometimes hit the catcher, it's got so much spin on it that it'll spin away from him. Unless you're just able to smother that ball, there's not a whole lot you can do for it. So Navarro gave it pretty good technique. It just got away from him.
Sam LeCure begins to throw now in the Reds bullpen. Runners on the corners for Travis Snyder. That's a tying run at third. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Snyder has hit a pair of ground balls, 1 to second, 1 to short, and my oh my, would Mike Leake take a third one of those right here and right now. Oh, 2. Sellout crowd, but a very, very quiet crowd here tonight.
Kind of like last night, really. It's a pitcher's duel last night, except for the home run by Matt Latos. There wasn't a whole lot going on. Of course, the early inside the park home run by Chris Heisey. But other than that, Latos just shut him down, and the crowd was very quiet. They saved all their energy for the haircut.
And for a roll is Chapman.
That's worth hanging around for.
After getting ahead 0-2, Leake has missed twice. And now the break-even pitch on Travis Snyder. Line drive into center field. Stubbs a catch. Runner tags. Here comes the throw to the plate. Cut off. We're tied at 4.
That's a shame. Now, winning baseball is all about taking advantage of the other team's mistakes. And the Pirates do it well. They won a lot of games this year, come from behind. They win games in which you don't think that they've got a chance to win. A lot like the Reds. Reds had a wild pitch on a strikeout that ran the runners to first and then over to third, and that's what set up that sacrifice fly.
So one more out to go here in the 6th inning for Leake. Harrison with a wind-aided home run his last time up. To the season left, but a home run nonetheless.
What a nice young man. Had a chance to visit with him when we were in Pittsburgh.
Harrison originally drafted in the 6th round back in 2008 by the Cubs. And then he was involved in that big deal going from Chicago to the Pirates in 2009. Along with a couple of players for pitchers Tom Borzolani and John Grabo. Graduated from Princeton High School in 2006. 2-year captain for the Vikings. And then 3 years of baseball at the University of Cincinnati. Ranks in the top 10 all time for the Bearcats in batting average, 3rd most runs, 4th most hits, 4th most doubles, 5th in RBIs and total bases, number 2 all time in stolen bases. And helped lead the UC Bearcats to a school record 39 wins. Down to Roland. Inning over, but twice tonight the Pirates have come back from 2 runs down to tie. Reds coming up in a 4-4 game.
Saturday, August 18th, and cheer on the Reds when they take on the Cubs at 7:10. Arrive early and be one of the first 20,000 fans through the gate to receive a Barry Larkin Reds cap, presented by Fox Sports Ohio. For tickets to see your Cubs take on to see the Reds take on the Cubs August the 18th at Great American Ballpark, you call 513-381-REDS. You visit select Kroger locations or get online, Reds.com today.
All right, bottom half of the 6th inning in a 4-4 affair. Frazier, Navarro, Valdez, and more than likely a batter from Mike Leake should we get that far. This will be the final inning. You figure either way for McDonald. Closing in on 90 pitches in the game. And his spot due to lead off the 7th inning. Xavier Paul down there finding his batting gloves. Reds have not had a hit in the last 2 innings since that infield single by Todd Frazier to drive in a run in the 3rd inning. Sean Marshall gets loose in the Reds bullpen. Pirates don't have any left-handed batters on their bench tonight. I mean, they're just loaded with nothing but righties tonight. But after a pinch hitter for McDonald, you have lefties in Presley and Walker in the 7th due up. Pop up behind the plate, and that one will drift out of play just below our booth.
On the rebound by Big Gig.
Eighth pitch of this at bat to Frazier, and a breaking ball is strike 3 called, and Frazier didn't like it.
That's three of the last 4 outs by James McDonald by strikeout. A couple of them looking. One by Jay Bruce on a fastball. That was on the low side, but Brian Gorman's been calling that low strike all night long.
Navarro, a broken bat pop up into left. That'll be easy. 2 out.
Frazier may have said to Brian Gorman, hey, aren't you an East Coast guy like me? Didn't you go to University of Delaware? New Jersey's right next to Delaware. Where's the love?
Apparently none.
Take a seat.
Now Valdez with 2 down and nobody on in a 4-4 game. Pirates do not have any activity right now in their bullpen with 2 outs and nobody on. If you're looking for a quick and delicious meal the whole family will enjoy, Chris Welsh will tell you he loads up on JTM's meatball sub kits. Get them at your local grocer's freezer. JTM, let's create great dishes together.
Now, Valdez may just take until he gets a strike. Otherwise, you have McDonald really on the verge of a very quick inning. Oh, you forget that.
Harrison charging. Boy, that's a nice play. Josh Harrison has made 2 outstanding plays.
It's a nice release he's got.
He's a great athlete. We're off to the 7th in a 4-4 game. Reds baseball on Fox Sports Ohio, brought to you by Cincinnati Children's, ranking 3rd in the nation again in the U.S. News and World Report's 2012 Best Children's Hospitals. And by the dependable, long-lasting Chevy Silverado and your tri-state Chevy dealers. Nighttime nearly upon us. Sellout crowd. Answer our AT&T trivia question. We guessed Rijo and Browning. I did. Storm Norman and Tom Browning.
So was a reliever after all. Both with a win and a loss in that series of the Pirates.
Boy, he was one good pitcher, Norm Charlton. Golly,
boy, there's a guy that pitched with some emotion, huh?
There's no doubt. He had unbelievable intensity and fire. And boy, after he left here, he went on to have a great career, primarily in Seattle.
He wasn't afraid to take on a catcher, too, even one of the toughest in the trade, and Mike Scioscia. How about that collision?
Never seen anything like it. I'm not sure you will ever again see anything like it. A pitcher to hit a catcher like Norm Charlton did at Riverfront Stadium. So Cairo at second base. And Sean Marshall now on to pitch as Starling Marte, their rookie outfielder, comes on the bat for McDonald. McDonald gives up 7 hits and 4 runs in his 6 innings. Struck out 7, and the Reds, they really didn't even give him a chance to walk barely anybody tonight. The only batter he walked was Cozart on 4 straight pitches with 2 outs in the 4th inning. That was a guy who had walked 19 batters in his last 4 starts. Two to Marte. He had that extended at bat in the 9th inning last night against Aroldis Chapman. Nearly a dozen pitches in that at bat. And there's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for strike 3.
Well, he threw him nothing but a diet of breaking balls the entire at bat to Sean Marshall. Finally feathers one right on the outside corner.
Now you have the left-handed batting Alex Presley coming up there. He's had a good night tonight. 2 hits and 3 at-bats. A triple to lead off the 3rd, scored a run, and then a single in the 5th inning. Mike Leake goes 6 frames tonight. Allows 6 hits and 4 runs. Struck out 7. Walked a batter and hit a batter. That young fella fired up, making a play on that foul ball. Out. Well, we invite you to take advantage of a special doubleheader deal. For only $58, you get a terrace level reserve seat for the August 14th afternoon session of the Western Southern Open, one of the top 5 tennis tournaments in the world. And then you get your choice to either the August 14th, 15th, or 16th Reds against the New York Mets game here at Great American Ballpark. You'll save up to $16, if not more, For tickets, visit Reds.com/WSO. Now Walker turns around to bat from the right side and looks at ball one low. Real sharp seventh for Sean Marshall. He'll sprint off. They stand and stretch in a 4-4 game. After every Reds game, we'll break it all down on Fox Sports Ohio with Jim Day and Jeff Pecoro. Reds Live, brought to you by Kings Honda, the Kings Auto Mall. Visit KingsHondaUSA.com. Two best bullpens in the entire National League. But now it's a matchup of bullpens the rest of the way. Leake and McDonald, both starters, are gone. Marshall, a 1-2-3, top of the inning. And now the Pirates go to their bullpen here in the bottom of the 7th inning and bring on right-hander Jared Hughes. What a year he's having.
He is. He's a rookie, but he pitching like he is a veteran. 44th game already for Hughes. He's a big guy. 6'7", 235. Comes from a low arm angle. He can freeze a right-hander with that arm action, I can tell you that.
Cairo getting his first plate appearance since coming on in the top of the inning defensively. Marte stays in the game. In the air, short right, and it'll fall in. So a 1-2 pitch is dumped into right field by Cairo. And a good start in his 4-4 game to begin the bottom of the 7th inning.
Be interesting to see how Dusty Baker wants to play it right here. You turn the lineup over, have a couple of guys at the top of the lineup that ought to be good at bunting. You put a hit and run on. Do you try to maybe just bunt them over the old-fashioned way and beat up a run that way?
Well, we're about to find out. Cozart shortens up. And it goes foul. Well, we've talked about it so many times, it's almost become monotonous. But this has not been a strength of this Reds team this season. Now we'll find out if Cozart's able to do it. It's only the first pitch of the at-bat. But when they have been asked to put down a sacrifice bunt, by and large, it has not been a good bunting team.
Well, Dusty really doesn't like to have that bunt on after you've got one strike on you, because if you foul this one off, now you're down an 0-2 hole and you're giving away your at bat. That first fastball pitch that you get is the one you should get down. Very small lead for Cairo.
But now it's 0-2.
Now what you really hope if you're Dusty, he doesn't hit into a ground ball double play.
Well, you and I gave this a nickname this year because we've seen it. The Reds so many times they're asked to bunt, they can't do it, and then somebody will get a base hit, and we call it a mind eraser.
Forgot about that.
This won't be one of them. So Cozart asked to bunt, can't get it done.
Well,
one out the
end. Blowing that baseball though.
Yep.
That ball started at the cutout in the outfield area, ended up in the infield grass. And if I'm playing right field now, I'm playing very shallow. The wind died down for a while. It's picked up though, big time. So the Pirates jumped on one of the mistakes the Reds made, a little thing by a wild pitch on a strike 3 to advance a runner, then got a sacrifice fly to tie the ball game up. Reds made another mistake by not being able to move the runner over here.
Dubs tonight, 2 out of 3, couple of infield hits. Cairo running, and a throw down to second base, nowhere near in time.
Boy, what a surprise attack right there. The Pirates have been one of the worst teams in baseball. In fact, the worst team in baseball in throwing runners out. Got a big, tall, right-handed pitcher out there. Did not pay any attention to Cairo, who thought he would never steal. Well, he's stolen twice this year. That's a big one right there. This is what I'm talking about here. The Pirates have only thrown out all year long 9 runners attempting to steal. The fewest in the National League by far. The Reds have had the 3rd most when they've knocked down 30 of them. So that's a big part of the ball game right there when you allow that runner to go from the first base into scoring position. Especially when he's to go ahead run at home.
Oh, 41,577 back-to-back nights. Games have been sold out here at Great American Ballpark. Looking for a tie-breaking base hit from Drew Stubbs. Started 2. They appealed. Didn't look like he went. He didn't. 2 balls and a strike. Left-hander Tony Watson throws in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Getting ready for Jay Bruce perhaps next. Ball 3. Throws out Stubbs, 2 away in the inning. Well, now the question is, if you're the manager, of course, Clint Hurdle's been thrown out of the game, but you can take it to the bank. He's running the team. Do you go ahead and walk Jay Bruce and have Hughes face a right-handed batting Ryan Ludwig? Because you know the Reds are not going to bat for Jay Bruce. So do you do that, or you bring in Watson to face him? And apparently they're going to leave the right-hander in, and they're going to walk Jay Bruce. Tell you what, I'll say it right here, and I'll say it right now. I think this is helping the Reds with this move.
Well, you're bringing up a guy who's simply been on fire with Ryan Ludwig. It wasn't too long ago we were talking about Ryan Ludwig having a batting average in the 220s. Well, it's now over 260. He's come up so big. He's had good swings tonight on a very tough right-hander. Even though he struck out once, he hit a double off the wall. Maybe the hardest hit ball of the night. So I agree with you, Tom, 100%.
And again, it's not picking on Jay Bruce. It's just the numbers don't lie. Now, you could get caught in a corner if you bring in the left-hander and he can't get Jay Bruce out. But Bruce is batting .216, and that is falling rapidly against left-handed pitching. Ludwig's killing everybody.
What you may not know, though, unless you're a Pirate fan, is that Tony Watson has not been all that good against left-handers.
Well, then there's the answer.
He gives up a much higher batting average against left-handers than he does against right-handers. The guy that they used to get left-handers out is now gone, Brad Lincoln. He was the best guy on the ball club for that, but they traded him away. So we'll see what Ryan Ludwig can do. There's what he has done since July the 16th.
And that RBI total,
man,
since the All-Star break. Now that's since the 16th. Since the actual All-Star break, he has 23 runs batted in, which is tied with Albert Pujols for the most in all of Major League Baseball.
That's what you want. You want somebody who can do some damage.
Ludwig broke a tie back in the third inning with a double off the left field wall.
Well, we're seeing a little bit of a reason why Jared Hughes is having such a good second season. I mean, he still qualifies as a rookie, but I don't think he's gotten the ball up above the knees yet.
Cairo, the go-ahead run out at second base. Tapper down to third, and they play it they want to play it, and it works out for them. Brent Strand 2. We're tied at 4 as we go to the 8th. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. How about the rookie season for Mike Trout? Take a look at this play. Seemingly every night. Watch how high he gets in the air for this ball in slow motion.
Guy has some kind of talent, I'll tell you that.
Four ball game, top half of the 8th inning. Well, our old buddy Kirk Herbstreit rolling into town tonight, hanging out with James. John Burns here tonight from CBTS. Of course, we thank CBTS and Cincinnati Bell last night. Thanks to John Burns helping to raise $50,000 for the Reds Community Fund. And now Jonathan Broxton takes over on the mound. Came on last night in the 8th inning in relief of Matt Latos with runners at first and second and 1 out in a 3-0 game. And got a double play ball off the bat of Gabby Sanchez. Will come in to face Andrew McCutchen to begin the Pirate 8th inning. Fly ball short left. Boy, that's a big out.
He has been so quiet. Jammed himself on that slider.
Broxton pitching in his 3rd game since the Reds acquired him from Kansas City, where he was serving as their closer. And there will be nights where he'll be trying to pick up saves for the Reds so as not to overwork Aroldis Chapman here over the final 2 months of the regular season. Play on a fastball away from Garrett Jones, and Broxton ahead at 1-2. That's just good old country hardball right there. Nothing but gas to take care of Garrett Jones. 2 out.
Yeah, it's gas with a little action on it, and I think that's the key for Broxton. He doesn't seem to overthrow to get that ball up to 94, 95. Uses his legs, and you tell you what, he's got a pretty firm foundation out there, going 6'4", 300. He stays over the rubber a long time, drives to the plate. Got a lot of momentum going to the plate when he lets that baby go.
So now McHenry, we know this guy can hurt you with a home run ball. He hit a solo home run back in the 2nd inning tonight. 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 left for the Reds. 4 runs, 6 hits. And 4 left for the Pirates. 2 out. We're in the 8th. Jason Grilli cranking it up in the Pirate bullpen. He's been a primary setup guy to their excellent closer Hanrahan. Keep an eye on the wind. Wind might bring this back. Nope. That's why Navarro came all the way back. There have been a couple of balls already in this game tonight that have gone into the air, and we've talked about the wind all night long. And not giving up on anything in the air. Wind was a factor in this home run by McHenry.
It was a factor in both the home runs that the Pirates have hit. Just kind of pop-ups that just drifted right on out of here. You cannot let this ballpark get into your head if you're a pitcher, or you're done.
1 ball and 1 strike. Broxton coming to the plate. Got him on a slider down and away. Base hit into right field on a 2-2 pitch by McHenry. So the inning will continue for the left-handed batting Pedro Alvarez. Go-ahead run is McHenry at first base.
Oh, that young man really showed me something on that swing. He made an adjustment, knowing that eventually maybe Broxton would try to go away with him with a slider. He just went right with it. It's a good adjustment, nice pitch, and a real good swing. You make a pitch like that, and there's nothing you can really do about it if you give up a base hit over the second baseman's head.
So now Alvarez 0 for 3 in the game, but his at bat back in the 6th inning is one of the biggest at bats we've had tonight. That's when the Pirates got a leadoff double by Garrett Jones with 1 out in the inning. Alvarez down 2 strikes and the at bat swung and missed, but the pitch hit the plate and spun away from Deoner Navarro, allowing Jones to advance on to third. Alvarez reached first base safely. The next batter, Snyder, had a sac fly RBI to tie the game at 4, and that's where we are here 2 innings later. Trying to go in an outside corner again, and this time he missed it. Two and one on Alvarez in a 4-4 game in the 8th inning. Strike 2. With a good cut on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball from Broxton. Four and a half games separating these two teams in the National League Central Division. And it's a 4-4 game in game 2 of this 3-game weekend series in the 8th.
It's a big swing game from the Pirates standpoint.
Try to get him to chase that slider down and in, and Alvarez stays off of it, so the count full, and now the runner will get started over at first. Frazier letting Broxton know he will not be holding him on. He'll back up behind him over there at first base. What a play. Can they get him at first? Cairo! Oh, my goodness! Dog play of the game. How good is this?
I'm telling you, I said it last night. I'll say it again. He's been watching Brandon Phillip highlight films, and I think he's figured out the secret. I don't know what that secret is, but he just came up with a big, big play for the Reds.
That's a 38-year-old man making that play.
I call him my hero.
What a great play by Cairo to slam the door on the Pittsburgh 8th inning.
Just the way Pedro Alvarez slammed his helmet down when he was called out at first base in frustration when he saw Cairo make that play.
Well, it's still Hughes in there. They were getting really ready in case they took the lead. Scott Rowland is 1 for 3 tonight at a 2-run, 2-out single in the first inning. 1 ball and 1 strike. Frazier to follow. And then Deanna Navarro. If we go any further than that, we have Jonathan Broxton's spot due up. And the Reds have Xavier Paul, Chris Heisey, Ryan Hannigan left on their bench. And you wonder, is Brandon Phillips available to hit? He was originally in the starting lineup today. He's standing there with a sweatshirt on. Good night for a sweatshirt. And it doesn't look like he's going to be pinch hitting for anybody. With a smile on his face over there by Cairo.
But think about it, though, what you just said. How can you be in the lineup until minutes before the first pitch is thrown and then not be available even to pinch hit?
2-2. Apparently back in Pittsburgh last night after the game. Now these were fans that were calling into a talk show. You know that apparently people were livid about McCutchen getting hit in the 9th inning by Aroldis Chapman and saying, well, you know, the Pirates better come back out and get one of those Reds tonight. And the guy they kept talking about over and over was, well, when Brandon Phillips gets back in that lineup, that's a guy you got to go get. I mean, apparently they were livid back in Steel City about their main man getting drilled by Aroldis Chapman in the 9th inning. Two to Roland, leading off the bottom of the 8th. High fly ball, right center field. McCutchen chasing. McCutchen will not get it. It is off the wall, and Roland is coming to third. Here comes a throw. He slides, and he's in there with a triple. Scotty Roland.
Boy, he came up with a big hit early on to drive 2 runs in on the same spot. Low and inside. He takes it inside out the other way. McCutchen goes up against the wall to try to get it. Can't. And the old guys are taking over this ball game. Cairo and Roland.
Ball player.
Great camera work.
Well, now the Pirates naturally have to bring the infield in as Aroldis Chapman springs to his feet out in the Reds bullpen. Todd Frazier, 1 of 3 in the game, had an infield hit to knock in a run in the 3rd. High bouncer, here comes Roland, and he will score.
Well, you want to put the ball in play, and it doesn't matter if it comes right off the plate with a high hopper right there. There's no way that's going to be fielded and thrown home for a put out at the plate. Boy, this ball club just finds a way to get it done. Sitting out of the dugout, that is demoralizing to watch. But if you're wearing red to this ball game,
and there are more than probably about 12 that aren't.
you are seeing exactly what you came for.
And everybody now is turning on their cameras, getting ready for that gate to open out there in deep left center field. Deanna Navarro 0 for 3 tonight. Xavier Paul waits in the on-deck circle. Slow roller to the right side. Pitcher will get there and make the tag. Add a little bit of extra shove to it. That's all right. Hughes just gave up the go-ahead run, so he can strut around all he wants to out there. It's a good time to strut.
Yeah, gave him a little left elbow jab there.
So Paul will bat for Broxton, who goes 1 inning, allows 1 hit, no run. Strike 1 on Xavier Paul. Of course, he spent time last year with the Pirates. You know, some of the Pirates people were telling us that, you know, when Paul would get a chance to play with them in their lineup, that he would do a lot of good things. A couple of hits here, a couple of hits there. But then he'd go, you know, like a lot of backup players do. Stretches where you just get pinch hit appearances and really not do much offensively. He grounds out to end the inning. But the Reds take the lead. And here comes Aroldis Chapman out of the Cincinnati bullpen. Reds 5, Pirates 4. And now trying to nail it down for a second consecutive night. A spectacular Reds closer, Aroldis Chapman. So Jared Hughes goes the final 2 innings. He allows a couple of base hits and the go-ahead run. Walked a batter intentionally and did not strike out about it. So Hughes a pitcher of record for the Pirates. Broxton the pitcher of record for the Reds if Chapman can save it. And this guy, he started the season on an extraordinary roll. Had a hiccup for about 2 weeks. And ever since then, it has been beyond description.
Well, to think that Aroldis Chapman really started the season, if you go all the way back to Goodyear, Arizona, when the Reds went to camp, to be a starter. And here he is, the best reliever in all of baseball. And he is the reason why 41,500 plus have stayed around to watch the Cuban Missile come in and nail one down.
18 appearances since his last blown save. It came against Minnesota on June the 24th. First pitch swinging is Travis Snyder. He has converted all 16 save chances since that last blown save and has not allowed a single run in his last 17 1/3 innings. 37 strikeouts and has allowed a grand total of 7 hits. 0-2.
Boy, how do you prepare yourself for that?
Pirates have Snyder, Harrison, and Marte here in the 9th inning. Schneider hanging around. Had the sac fly to tie the game back in the 6th inning before the Reds broke that tie. In the home half of the 8th on a triple by Rowan and the ground out by Frazier. Jam shot, pop up, Frazier's there. Josh Harrison homered back in the 4th inning. 1 of 2 has been hit by a pitch. He's made a couple of sensational plays in the field at shortstop. And he was looking for that first pitch fastball, hoping to run into one, and he fouled it back. Nary a soul has left this ballpark here tonight. 41,577. With a gas. It's popped up in the foul ground and out of play.
Hey, you saw Aroldis Chapman shake his head as if he was shaking off a sign. I think that was the sign that Ryan Hannigan gave him, to shake his head to try to get Josh Harrison to think, I'm coming with a slider right here. He has not thrown an off-speed pitch yet.
This 24-year-old Cuban had 1 major league save prior to 2012. Pulled foul and out of play.
That ball pulled so hard to the left it went up there in our Fox Sports Ohio post-game condominium.
To give you an idea about Chapman this year compared to last year, he is roughly at the exact same innings mark as he was for the entire season last year at the big league level. Here's the 0-2. And here's a base hit into left field. With that base hit, Chapman in 52 innings has allowed 24 hits. That's exactly what he allowed last year. But the difference this year, 98 strikeouts. Last season, 71. Last year, 41 walks. This year, flip-flopped the 1 and the 4. That's been the most extraordinary turnaround. And now he faces Marte, who had quite an at-bat against him here last night. 11 pitches before Chapman got him on a ground out to Rowan at third base.
Well, the only month in which Aroldis Chapman has given up a run is the month of June. April, May, July, and here short month of August so far, nothing. Anyway, you look at those numbers, they're just astounding.
Well, he's got a 1-run lead here tonight. Swing and a miss. At 101 to get ahead 0-2 on Marte. Of course, he got ahead a couple of strikes on Harrison before that young man pulled the trigger on a base hit into left field.
That was an excellent at bat by Josh Harrison. Fouled off a couple of high pitches. Those pitches that normally Chapman throws right by hitters. He was able to stay alive and finally got one he drove into left field. That's the pitch down that is really the only one that I've seen hit hard off of Chapman. We have not seen anybody really tomahawk the ball up in the zone yet. The ball that Asdrubal Cabrera hit in Cleveland for a walk-off home run for the Indians against Aroldis Chapman, that was down and away, actually off the plate. It's a lot easier for a hitter to just simply drop the bat head to knee level than it is to hit that fastball around the chest, because you've got to hit that chest-high fastball way out in front of the plate, especially the one inside.
Oh, 2 on Marte. Swing and a miss, for the ball gets away from Hannigan. And both runners, of course, he's automatically out.
Automatically out.
He's automatically out. The runner is allowed to advance on to second base, which puts the tying run in scoring position.
First base occupied, less than 2 outs. You can run all you want, Starling Marte. There's a man down there, although Harrison does go into scoring position as he moves up on that wild pitch.
So now you have Gabby Sanchez coming up to bat.
I play the outfield very shallow right here because I wouldn't want to get beat on a fluke. If he happens to hit a ball over everybody's head, then so be it, but it hasn't happened very often.
Gabby Sanchez. A ball and a strike. Sanchez came over in the deal from the Marlins, had an outstanding rookie season last year. Struggled so mightily this year they sent him to the minor leagues, and now they've sent him to the Pirates. Chapman now a strike away. The Reds an out away from back-to-back wins in a series over the Pirates in a 5.5 game lead in the Central.
Player has to tie his glove on, or tie his cesta onto his wrist with a rawhide band. That's probably what Ryan Hannigan ought to do next time he catches Chapman.
Sanchez hanging around. Chapman looking for that one final strike.
Well, if you're Gabby Sanchez, you've worked the count full. You've just seen that pitch go in the dirt with a slider. Chapman has thrown 101 tonight as far as the high end of his velocity. There is a 100% chance he's getting a fastball right here. But even knowing it's coming may not do you a lot of good.
These Pirates the last couple of nights have put pretty good at bats together against Chapman. We saw the extended at bat by Marte last night. Here in this inning, an excellent at bat by that man, Josh Harrison. He wound up getting a base hit. And now a lengthy at bat as Chapman's looking for the final out against Gabby Sanchez. Tying run at second, 2 out in the ninth. Ball game. Pirates came to town 3.5 back. Very much looking forward to this weekend series. It has been all about Cincinnati for the front 2 games. The lead 5.5, and the Reds now a whopping 25 games over 500 with the best record in all of baseball.
They just keep winning and winning and never even looking back.
Been unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. 22 wins in their last 25 games. They are 16-3 since Joey Votto went down, and they played the first 2 games of this series clearly without Votto, both games without Brandon Phillips, and it's W.